Welcome to an unbagging from theplayersaid.com. I'm Grant. Today I'm doing a new to me game, but this is by no means a new game. This is from One Small Step Games, and this is a part of their Folio series line. I think they have up to about 15 games that have been published in that series over the years. But this game is Folio series number 3, and it is entitled Kandahar, Southern Afghanistan, 2008 through 2010. And you'll notice it is designed by one of my favorite designers, Brian Train. Brian Train has done many games on lesser known conflicts that involve counterinsurgency. His big well-known games are A Distant Plain, most recently Colonial Twilight, which focused on the struggle between the FLN and French in North Africa. So a very great game. I've reviewed that, played it, we love it. It's a coin series game. A Distant Plain covers Afghanistan. He's done multiple games on Afghanistan, and this is one of those games. Very interested in this game. I've taken an interest in that period, mainly because of A Distant Plain that came out in 2012. It was volume 3 in the coin series. I own a copy. Alexander and I have played it a couple of times, but have been very interested in this game for a long time. I'm going to be honest, I ordered Folio series number 10, Bend In 69, and really wanted to order Green Beret, which is number 2, also by Brian Train. It was out of stock, so I went ahead and got Folio series number 3, Kandahar. Great looking game. I'm excited about it. It is a folio game, obviously, so it comes in a plastic bag. And this is the first game that I have purchased from One Small Step Games. So I'm excited. It comes in a folder. So this is a very sturdy folder. You actually don't even need the bag. All of this is going to fit in this pocket folder. As you can see when I open that up, it kind of very neatly fits in. So I may even get rid of the bag. The bag would really just be there to protect the cover itself and its integrity. But I like the way this art looks. I think the colors are great. I want to try to preserve it, so I'll probably keep it in the bag and put it in my special holders. So let's go ahead and look at the back of the cover. There you see there's an example of some of the units. And it says, Kandahar is a game on the conflict in this province of southern Afghanistan, 2008 through 2010. Players take the role of regional commanders, Afghan National Security Forces, and Taliban, striving for resources to allow them to earn victory points, which are granted in accordance with objectives set by the same higher authorities that provide them with those resources. So this game is about the conflict between the National Security Forces of Afghanistan and the Taliban. Components have a rule book, 12 objective cards, one 17 by 22 map, 140 half-inch full-color die-cut counters. They're very nice counters. I looked at them the other day, and then charts and tables. Solitaire suitability is high. That's a key for me. A lot of times we get these games, and Alexander and I cannot put the time in to play each and every game. But when I have an hour or two at home, I'll crack out one of these games and try to go through it. Complexity level is medium. Suitable for ages 12 and above. Playing time is 2 to 4 hours. So once again, this is a solitaire game that I can play by myself without needing an opponent, which is good. I enjoy solitaire games, especially enjoy whether the AI is designed well or not. So let's go ahead and open it up. Let's grab the rules first. They are nicely printed. Looks like the rules are about 10 or 11 pages. 16 pages. I'm an idiot. But here you go. They're pretty dense rules. Not a lot of examples of play, colored examples of play with drawings. So this one may be a little harder to pick up, but I'm sure that I'll be able to figure it out. Here's a look on the left at some of those counters. We'll take a look at here in a moment. Some of the administrative markers as well. The rules look fairly standard and simple. I wonder if there are different scenarios. There are insurgent dummy units. I think that's kind of cool. There are random events. I enjoy random events because it throws some wrenches in my plans. And it looks like there's a basic scenario, right? And then there's some advanced rules, and it looks like you even have a random game setup chart. So you're going to be able to play this in a couple different ways with a lot of different setups and outcome, which is cool. You know, anytime you add replayability to a game, it's going to stay in your collection longer. One of the other things I really enjoy about Brian Train is he is a long-winded person. I know because I've done many interviews with him. I like that about him. He gives a lot of detail, and he also cares about the historical significance of these different conflicts. So here you can see there's designer notes, background, and some information about the different types of units. So he has put a lot of time and effort in making sure that we can learn something from this game, and I think that's a good thing. So there's a look at the rules. There are a couple of charts and tables. Looks like there's 2 or 3 of them. Here you have a setup for the different scenarios. You have a look at the units, the unit identification chart there. Pretty basic. Here you have the all-purpose record track, Opium Harvest. You have a sequence of play printed there so that's clearly able to be referenced quickly. These player aids are one-sided. Then you have different charts and tables, intelligence, build, train phase. Don't know what that means yet. Here's an operations phase. So you have different things. These are your abilities that you can do. So that's cool. It's going to help us play that game. Turn end phase procedures. This is the final chart that you have. It is also double-sided. And then here is an example of those random events. Let's just pick one. Deception and deceit. The insurgent player places all the blank chits he currently holds into the intelligence pool. No event if not using these rules. Don't know what that means, but it's going to give you some different events. It also says for the random events table, you're going to roll 2d6 in succession. No idea what that means. In 2d6, you're going to generate numbers. You know, if you roll a 1 and on your second die you roll a 1, that could be an 11, right? So that may be what you're doing here. If you roll a 6 followed by a 6, you're going to get 66. So you're going to do change orders. So there's a look. You're going to get a couple baggies for the counters, which is good. I enjoy it when games do that. The counters come in a bag to protect them. They're nice looking counters. They are very basic. I don't find anything wrong with that. And there we had some counters that just fell right out of the sprue, which once again, I don't have a big problem with that. It's going to make sure that when they tear off cleanly and don't leave a lot of dangling chads. Now I will clip these. I have my Oregon Laminations 2.5mm clipper. Here's some of the administrative counters. These are some of the units. Boy, look how easy those come out. Man, that's amazing. Control markers. You have dummy units for the insurgents. Interesting. And then there is the backs. DIS might be disrupted. So there's a look at the counters. Fairly basic. And these are the counters that came out of the... I call it a sprue. I know sprue really refers to the plastic for miniatures and that kind of thing. But so finally, the pièce de résistance, and there are some cards. We'll look at those cards here in a moment. Here's the map. You know, functional. I think that's what I would say about this map. It is functional. You can tell there is some detail in the actual background itself, which is going to relate to various Terrains. I can't remember where the terrain effects chart is. Where did that go, guys? There is a terrain effects chart, I know, somewhere. But you can see there's some differences. These might be mountains. These are desert. So you're going to have some of that. And then you have these boxes, which represent the different areas. And you're going to put your different actions that you're choosing for those areas with markers in. So ops or patrol, you know, you can see the different options there, and you're going to do those operations, and then results are going to happen from those. Here's a box called the Pakistan box. Don't know what that is. That's probably where your insurgents stage from. And then here is the all-purpose record track, and once again it refers to that opium harvest. Looks like the middle of the columns, well, the asterisks on are the days when that opium harvest is going to happen. My guess is that's when the insurgents or the Taliban gain their resources. So yeah, there's a look at the map. Let's go ahead and pull those counters up because I wanted to see. I'm trying to get an example of a, well, without having read the rules, I don't know that I can tell you what these really do or what they are. So I will not embarrass myself. I will go ahead and just try to move forward so that we can get a better understanding. There's the chart. So here are those cards that I was talking about. So really nice looking cards. They're printed. These pop out really easy. Not real thick. I might want to sleeve these. I do have some extra sleeves just to give them some a little bit of weight. But on the backs of the cards, these look like they are objective. So these cards say objective, and they're numbered. Objective 3, Objective 6, 4, and 5. So let's really quickly look at economic development under Objective 3. So it's going to tell you what you're trying to do, your victory point schedule. Higher echelon support table. I don't exactly know what they're referring to there. But all of these cards have that similar style and setup. So I'm assuming these are just different elements that you're going to focus on during your scenario. There are red and blue cards. So my guess is the red cards are for the insurgents. Here's an example of the red card. Same great looking art on the back. This says Jihad. It's objective number 1. It has the echelon support table as well as a victory point schedule. There are, each side it appears has 6 cards. So they have an even number of cards. And those cards are going to be used by the player for whatever purpose. I don't know that I understand fully, only because I haven't read the rules or played yet. So that's a look at Kandahar. I'm excited about it. I love new games. I love new games designed by Brian Train. This actually brings, I believe in my collection, 8 games designed by Brian Train now. I have Winter Thunder, Red Horde 1920, A Distant Plane, Colonial Twilight. I have a Knights of Fire prototype, which I will be getting from the Kickstarter, a full edition. Bendin 69, this game Kandahar, and then I have the Schelt campaign from Hollandspiel. So I enjoy his games. He just has a very thoughtful design method, and I enjoy learning something as I play. So that's why I really like Brian's games. So guys, that's a look at Kandahar from One Small Step. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like it. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Something I can do better, something I can improve upon, something that you liked. If you enjoy the channel, please subscribe, and then check out our website at thePlayersAid.com. We try to keep fresh and new content on there, including in-depth reviews, strategy articles, designer interviews, monthly updates from various publishers. We do our feature War Game Watch, trying to keep on top of what new games are coming out or coming to Kickstarter. That's something that depresses me because I don't have a budget large enough to buy all those games. But it's fun to write, and I know a lot of people like them. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll check you next time.